What's going on, guys? It's your girl Tyanna-Cheyenne, and I'm here today with a video to discuss how I found out I was diagnosed with Pheochromocytoma at the age of 18. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Put your post notifications on so you can be notified when I post my next video. Let's go ahead and get into this video, guys. So, at the age of 18, I was diagnosed with Pheochromocytoma. Now, the symptoms to pheochromocytoma is heart palpitations, headaches, and high blood pressure. Unfortunately, I had all three symptoms, but I did not know that I was having all three symptoms until I would go to the doctor and they would tell me, like, your heart rate is high, your blood pressure is high. So let me give you guys a backstory. So 2017 November, I was at work one day and I was having a really bad headache. The headache did not go away. I could barely see, I can barely walk, and I was throwing up all at work. I had asked my manager if I can go home. She told me yeah. I went home to my boyfriend's house, and as I was there, my headache still didn't go away. So I'm trying to figure out, why didn't this headache go away? I took an over-the-counter Aleve liquid gel, and it was 2 hours prior to me even asking my manager if I can go home. The headache still didn't go away. So when I had gotten the house, of course I was throwing up. The headache still didn't go away. The headache did not go away until I actually went to the emergency room and they gave me pain medication for the headache to go away. My boyfriend noticed that the headache didn't go away, so he was like, you know what, babe, let's go to the hospital, figure out what's going on. Once we got to the hospital, the nurse asked me, hey, do you have a history of high blood pressure? Sorry about that. The nurse had asked me, hey, do you have a history of high blood pressure? Do you have a history of like anything with your heart? And I was telling her, no, I don't have any recent health conditions. I'm healthy as far as I'm concerned. She said, okay. They took me to the back, set me up with a nurse and a doctor. Now, when the nurse came, she asked me some questions. I answered them to the best of my ability, but I couldn't answer them the way I needed to answer them because my head was hurting really bad. So they gave me an IV, they gave me some medication. My headache slowly started to go away. As I was there, the doctor had came and asked me, like, hey, did you have any previous surgeries? I told them I did have a previous surgery when I was younger. They asked, do you have any family history of any conditions? I told them, yeah, my mom was diagnosed with pheochromocytoma. They said, okay. That was about it. After I left the hospital that night, I would say maybe 2-3 days later, I had came home to my house and I was having this burning chest pain. Now, anybody that's ever had heartburn know what heartburn feel like, and this burning chest pain wasn't heartburn. I just knew for a fact that something else was wrong, and I knew that with something else being wrong, I needed to go back to the hospital. So I told my mom, like, hey, I feel like I need to go back to the hospital because this is not heartburn, this is something else. Like, I could barely stand up. I'm literally hunched over trying to walk because my chest was not only burning, but I was in pain. She thought it was heartburn. She tried to get me to take some heartburn medication. I told her no, I needed to go to the hospital. She said okay. She took me to the hospital, and as I was in the hospital, they asked me, hey, do you have a history of high blood pressure, any heart conditions? I explained to them no. They hooked me up to an EKG because my heart rate was pretty high, and they also kept checking my blood pressure because my blood pressure was elevated. Once they got me to the back, I was assigned to a doctor and a nurse, and the doctor asked me everything that was going on, and I explained to them like I was just here maybe a couple of days ago because I had a really really nasty headache, and from me catching the headache, it turned into the burning chest pain. They said, okay, we're gonna run some tests. They ran some tests. I had got a echocardiogram done, which is a ultrasound of the heart. I got a EKG done. I got a chest X-ray done. I also got blood work done. Everything came back normal, thank God. But they did notice that my blood pressure was still high and it was still elevated. So they asked me like, hey, do you have a family history of high blood pressure? I said no. They asked if you have a family history of any heart disease? I said no. They asked if I had any family member that just had died because of any heart conditions that they was unaware of. I explained to them no. My mom did express to them that she was diagnosed with Pheochromocytoma. They left, came back. The cardiologist came back with her team, and she looked at me and she said, there is a possibility that you can have what your mother has. I said, okay. I got nervous, started crying. They said they were going to send me home with 24-hour urine, and they were going to take some blood work before I had went home so that, they can find out what was going on. I said, okay. Came home, did the 24-hour urine. Before I can even give the 24-hour urine in, they called about, I would say, 2 days later and expressed to me, you have pheochromocytoma. Now, at the time that I got the call, I was asleep and I was at my boyfriend's house. So, of course, I woke up out my sleep crying, trying to figure out what was going on. Once my boyfriend calmed me down, he said, hey, there's other ways of going about this. Just calm down. And once you are assigned to an endocrinologist, you could find out, like, what's really going on. I said, okay. Now, mind you, this is still 2018. We are still in December. As my birthday passed, my birthday was December 11th, my birthday passed, and then it was, time to get back into what was going on with my health. My health, I would say, was pretty messed up around that time. Like, the whole month of December, I was in the doctor's office. If it wasn't every day, it was like every other week. So as my birthday passed, I enjoyed myself, had a great time, thanks to my boyfriend, so shout out to you, babe. After that, it was time to get back into my health. My health comes and I'm like, okay, time to go to the doctor. I went to the doctor to see the endocrinologist, and the endocrinologist explained, like, listen, your levels are really high, so that does mean you have pheochromocytoma. We're going to schedule a CAT scan. Once you get the CAT scan done, we can locate the tumors, see if they're just in your adrenal glands or if they're elsewhere, and then we can talk about how to go about getting your surgery and stuff. I said, okay. Around this time, I'm like, it's about to be a new year. I do not feel like getting any surgery. I'm praying to God there's no tumors. My levels is just high. I got the CAT scan done with contrast and without contrast. About 2 weeks later, I went back to see the endocrinologist, and she said to me, hey, you have pheochromocytoma. You have the tumor in not only one adrenal gland, but you have them in both adrenal glands. Now, I got this dumb grin on my face thinking something was funny, and it really wasn't funny. Like, this is something serious, and I got this grin on my face like it was funny. And I think the grin was to really stop me from crying, but it didn't stop me from crying because after I had the grin on my face, I was crying. She said, listen, I'm going to set you up with a surgeon, and he's gonna take it from there. But until you get your surgery, I'm gonna put you on alpha and beta blockers just to um, keep your blood pressure and your heart rate at a certain level so you can get your surgery. I said, okay. Um, 2 weeks after I saw my endocrinologist, I saw the surgeon. He told me, listen, being that your levels are really, really high, I want you to get a MIBG scan done because I want to make sure there isn't another tumor elsewhere. I said, okay. They scheduled me for the MIBG scan. Now, mind you, when they scheduled the MIBG scan, I'm getting the scan done in January now. So now Christmas passed, New Year's passed, straight into January 2018. I am getting ready to get this MIBG scan done. Now, the process of the MIBG scan is a 3-day process, and as I was getting ready to get the scan done, I'm praying, like, please don't let it be excuse me. I'm praying, like, I pray there's no tumors elsewhere. Like, come on. I do not need to go through any more stress than what I'm going through right now. So I get the scan done. The results come back. The doctor called me and said, hey, you don't have no tumors anywhere else. It's just in your adrenal glands. The tumor on my left side was 5 centimeters, I believe. I will also insert a picture of what the tumors looked like after I got them removed. One tumor was 5 centimeters and one tumor was 3 centimeters. They were pretty big. Like, the one on my left side was really big. The one on my right side wasn't that big, but they were there. The surgeon called, said, hey, listen, no tumors nowhere else. I'm going to schedule up the surgery for January 30th. I said, cool, I'm ready. Packed my hospital bag. I hung out with my boyfriend up until it was time for me to get my surgery. Surgery day came, I had all my family members there, including my boyfriend. Very supportive, making sure everything went well. After the surgery, they did explain to me that I was going to be on lifetime medication. Now, I take my medication twice a day, every day, for the rest of my life, being that I don't have any adrenal glands. I will also insert what happens when you don't have any adrenal glands and why you have to take this medication. I, take my medication regularly. I do know what goes on if you don't take your medication. Like, if you miss a day of your medication, you get this nasty headache. If you take your medication in the morning and in the afternoon late, you get a nasty headache. So, me personally, I don't want to go through any headaches, so I try my best to take my medication on time every day. That's pretty much it. Like, I got this rare condition. I also was diagnosed with von Hippel-Lindau. I will place the definition in the box right here. And that's pretty much it. Von Hippel-Lindau is where, the tumors grow elsewhere, your brain, your eyes, your ears, your spine. And this is something that I deal with on an everyday basis. I do go to the doctor every 3 to 6 months to get checked and get MRI scans and CAT scans just to make sure no tumors grow elsewhere. That's about it. If you guys have any questions, you are more than welcome to DM me. My Instagram will be in the description down below. My next video will be a Q&A, so feel free to ask me any question you want. It doesn't matter what the question is. You can ask me whatever question you want. I will definitely be answering it in my next video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.